2024. 2024. Like that sounds kind of wild to say. Like it sounds like a futuristic movie I would have watched as a kid. 2024. Um, anyway, it is another edition of Live and Unscripted with your host Jen Saunders, and I'm excited to be here today. I started this day with some news that is kind of causing me to feel really reflective and want to hug my people even tighter. And so this is me just starting this program off today, hugging you a little tighter and letting you know that I love you and I appreciate you. And if you're struggling, to know that we're here and that you can reach out. And if it's not us, we have resources that we can share with you. And just also just going to send out huge loves to all of my friends and peeps who are affected by the news that I received today. And just I love you. I love you, and I love the struggles that you are experiencing and the places that you're standing in that may be challenging, and the places where you may feel alone or you may feel lost or afraid. And just to let you know that it's okay. It's okay to feel those things, and it's also okay. It's also okay to reach out and to stand in that really vulnerable place of allowing someone else to hold your heart or to hear your hurts or to hug you a little closer or a little tighter. Mental health is a big thing these days. It's always a big thing. And let's make it a lot less taboo than it has been, and to recognize our humanness. And humanness is not always experiencing the happy, joyful feelings. That's a courageous thing, but also embracing the not so fun feelings of sadness and heartache and depression and whatever else that is. Let's give people a little more grace to be human and to reach out and not feel embarrassed or to feel ashamed, but to recognize that they're just human and that they may be feeling big things. So my heart is really contemplative and really tender today as we start this program. And so as we breathe today, I'm just going to invite you. We always start with a bit of breathing as a way to let go of anything that's already happened in the day and to let go of anything that we think is going to happen in the day and just be right here, right now. It also allows us to be in that space to be with each other and allow inspiration to be the guide and to have you be a part of that process with us as well. So today's breathing, we're just going to breathe deep into our sit bones, into our hips. I'm going to have you envision like you've got a balloon with the opening right here in your mouth, and it's going to fill up your belly, and as you breathe in today, I'm going to invite you to just breathe slowly and really feel your lungs, really feel your belly, and feel it push yourself into the seat that you're sitting in, or down through your feet, maybe even, and to just feel your humanness and to celebrate all of the feelings that you get to feel, and to breathe in the joy, breathe in the happiness, and find space to let go of the things that maybe feel heavier, but to celebrate all of those things because it's what makes us human. And so let's go 45 or 60 seconds. As you breathe in, I'm going to invite you to breathe in through your nose, filling that balloon all the way into your sit bones, breathing deep at a count that feels good for you. And then you're going to let it go through your mouth. It doesn't have to be a big but if that's what you feel today, let that happen. As we do this, I'm going to invite you to do it with either a downward gaze or closed eyes, whichever feels most comfortable for you, and to just really be with yourself. Have the courage to be with yourself in these moments, in this minute. So with that, I'm going to invite you to take that downward gaze or closed eyes. Breathing in deeply through your nose, all the way down into your sit bones. If you want to, hold that for a second and then release it through your mouth. And then just repeat that pattern. Really feel what aliveness feels like for you in this moment. And allow it to be okay, whatever it is. Give yourself a little more grace, a little more love, a little more acceptance of self. Be willing to reach out to the people around you, even if you don't know what to say, and just hold space with them. For right now, as you're taking in those deep breaths, just hug yourself and love yourself a little tighter and a little bigger. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Come back into this present moment where we're about to have a really cool conversation. So this is a program where we allow inspiration to be the guide. We want to thank you wherever you're coming from. If you're coming from the Righteous Rebels Facebook group, thank you for joining us. We had a few members asked to participate yesterday. Thank you for that. If you're coming to us from my personal page or from LinkedIn or from YouTube, we welcome you. We say thank you for sharing your time with us and lending to the magic of this program, where again, we allow inspiration to be the guide. I'm going to ask one question and we're going to let the conversation take off from there. I love these, especially when I'm getting to interview someone who I've only met for just a moment. And there's something in them that just sparks an interest in me and a desire to like say the words, "Hey, do you want to be on my podcast?" and Sam is one of those cases. We met her in a local mailbox store. She was shipping something that I thought was really cool and intriguing. And I asked a question and that just was like, wow, I have to know more. And so this is an opportunity for me to get to know Sam while you get to experience it at the same time and find out what yummy nuggets she has in store for you. It's also just a fun way to recognize for yourself how easy it is to get to know somebody, and that people are only strangers for just a moment. And some of those people will nuzzle their way into your hearts farther than others. And at other times, it's just a simple meeting that makes your day, or that gives you a piece of information that lightens your load, or enlightens your life, or they give you a piece that maybe you've just been waiting for, and like it feels random, but in that moment, it's exactly what you needed to help propel you forward. So with that, I'm going to invite our guest, Sam. Her name is Samantha. I call her Sam because I think she told me I could. Sam, welcome to Live and Unscripted. How are you today? Oh, hold on. I still have you on mute. Hold on. We got to hear that voice. Now say it.
Hi, I'm here. Yay! I'm nervous.
Perfect. Right? Embracing the nerves.
Embracing it.
Right? What are you nervous about?
Speaking.
Right.
Speaking in general.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably feel the same way. I just honor that space for you, and that you like still showed up and accepted our invite to do that.
I'm all about trying new things, so here we go.
I love it. So I know this about Sam. She has a really bubbly personality. She's a mom, and we may have Grace.
Sage.
No, just welcome Sage, cutest little 2-year-old. That may be part of our program today, and that's just part of what we do. This is called life, and we're really trying to normalize life and the roles that we get to play. I know that Sam's a creative, which is part of why she was in the mailbox store that day. And yeah, she's a brave soul. She's not afraid to put herself out there. Not afraid, from what I can see, to try new things. And What else?
Makes banging banana bread that she's never tried.
Oh, Leah just reminded me
yeah.
she makes banging banana bread that she's never even tried.
And pumpkin bread. I don't like banana or
And
pumpkin.
pumpkin bread. Is this Sage? Is she close by?
It was. She was
Or
walking
she's
around in the back. Yeah.
Perfect. So I want to ask so many questions, but let's just start with the question that I asked all the guests, because I think it will answer a lot of the other questions that are rolling around in my mind as I want to get to know you. So the first question, really the only scripted question, is what were you like as a little kid, and what did you want to be when you grew up?
When I was a kid, I think I was very independent, maybe destructive at times. I like making my own path, I guess. I wanted to be a zoologist. I wanted to work with tigers. Yep. So I even went to school for a little bit, and I had an internship, and life happened, and I decided to go a different direction.
Okay, what made you want to be a zoologist? Like, where I've never had a guest say that before.
I just love animals, and I wanted to work with wild animals. I like photography, so my dream was actually to like go out there in Africa and photo shoot and do like the filming of it and all of that. But I also wanted to be a vet, so I wanted to help save, I guess, endangered animals.
Yeah. Where does that come? Like, you wanted to do that as a kid. Like, where does that come from, though?
My mom is a big animal lover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a lot of pets growing up. I have a lot of pets now too. We have 4 dogs. We did have 5. We recently lost one. And then we have 4 cats and 3 ferrets. 1 second. We got life happening as we speak.
I'm like, put her up here. Let's let her say hi.
Hey, you want to say hi? All right. So this is Sage. She is 2. And she is the reason why I get to stay home and start my creative journey.
Oh my word!
So
how are you, Sage?
I wouldn't know how good I was doing.
Are you babysitting your mom today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is she being a good girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. It makes it so much easier, huh?
Yeah.
Are you playing with your toys?
The daddy is.
I'm a little. I might be a translator.
No, I couldn't catch that one either. We're still learning.
Is.
You what?
The dad
Is
Dad is.
I don't know what she's saying.
Dad is.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mia, come back again.
All right. Well, she wanted me to fix her tablet, but I don't know how. So.
Oh no, that would be me. I wouldn't know how. I would touch buttons and probably mess it up more.
It says it has no internet connection, but it's connected to the internet. So I'm not sure. And it won't even let me get out of this page.
Amazing.
There we go. Hold on. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. This is life. This
Here
is
you go.
life.
Got it.
What happened?
There you go.
Don't ask me to explain what happened.
No, that's not what you wanted?
You too. You too.
Okay.
You too.
It's not working.
Aw.
I know.
Aw, that's how I feel sometimes. Aw.
Aw.
Like this.
Try that one?
Yes.
Okay. Is it working?
Oh, no.
No, it's not working. I don't know.
Up there.
Okay, you want to play the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
The sweetest.
All right. Bye.
What? Oh, working.
It's not working either.
Mommy.
There you go. All right. I think she might be settled now. Sorry.
Cool. No need for sorry. Okay, so you said something about you did an internship, but that Sage is the reason why you get to stay home.
Yes. So Sage is why I get to stay home, but she's not the reason my life kind of changed,
Ooh,
you know.
tell us more. How did life
Well,
change? Why did life change?
Um, well, I was going to school at a university in Texas. That's where I'm from.
Okay, which part
And
of Texas?
I'm from Dallas.
Cool.
And I was going to Stephenville, Texas. I was going to Tarleton, and I had an internship at a place right outside there. I actually didn't actually make it to the internship because I ended up going a different direction. I ended up going back home and took a business degree instead. So ended up I had my first daughter, Skylar. So I'm actually a mom of 4.
Here. Can you hear me, Sam?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, it kind of froze. So, will you go back to like you were at the university, and then it kind of froze out?
Yeah, I just decided to go down a different path. I came back home and ended up getting a business degree instead. But before then, I ended up traveling the country and doing door-to-door sales, selling magazines.
Wow.
So went a completely different direction in life.
Yeah. So tell us about door-to-door selling of magazines. Like, what was that like? What made you decide to go in? I mean, you talk about public speaking, but dang, you're selling magazines door to door.
I mean, and that was kind of our spiel too, to help us get over public speaking. Which is ironic. I feel like it gave me a lot of confidence. This is back, 15 years ago. So, but it gave me a lot of confidence. It was a time of, I wouldn't regret. I know my mom didn't like it because she never knew where I was, if I was safe.
Right.
Because it was, no phones still back then really. And, you're just living life, experiencing it. And I think that was the main important thing to do at the time for me, was to really figure out who I was and what I wanted to do. And, I think it helped a lot with some stuff.
Well, absolutely. And I would love to know more about that. Like where are some of the places that you went, or what are some of the experiences that you feel like touched you the most, or gave you some of the what's of what you were looking for, and in finding yourself? And what did you find out about yourself? You said it gave you confidence, but what are some of those other things that help build that confidence, or help put you on the path that you're on today, or at least put you in a direction to change paths, to change how life works?
Yeah. I mean, it was just something, it became a family. And I think that's really what helped the confidence and what pushed me. Everybody was there for each other. It was a crazy lifestyle. I mean, I'm not going to deny that, but it was so much fun. I have friends for life. I met my husband doing it.
What?
Yeah. So we met in California. We have pictures of us, outside the Hollywood sign. And, we both lived our life. We each had kids with different partners, and then came together. And, 6 months, we were like, why are we messing around? This has been 10 years. Let's go. So now we have an incredible love story and a beautiful home with 4 kids and our zoo.
Our zoo. I love it. How many ferrets did you say you had?
We have 3 ferrets, 4 cats, and 4 dogs. Yeah. And they're big dogs. No small dogs here.
I'm speechless because I have no pets, and dogs are like, I'm apprehensive around dogs, especially big dogs or dogs.
My biggest dog sits about a little over 6 feet tall on his hind legs. He's a Great Pyrenees Irish Wolfhound mix. He's a giant.
I'm like, that sounds like a small pony.
He is a small pony. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
And he's gentle too. So we can literally put the baby on him. If we had a saddle, he would let her ride him for sure.
Okay, one of these days I may just need to get the courage to come meet your big dogs.
He is a gentle giant for real. Like he's so cute. The way he'll say hello, he'll get on his hind legs and sit, and then he'll come up like this, and he wants you to hug him so he can wrap his arms around you as well.
Okay,
So
that's awesome.
he's not intimidating. He barks all night long because Pyrenees, they are nocturnal, and they're bred to guard the herd at night from wolves and everything, and so we don't have happy neighbors because of him.
Yeah, that makes it rough. That makes it rough for sure. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to know more about this selling door to door and this incredible love story that you said you created. Like, I honestly don't even know what question to ask. It just is like sitting, like, I want to know more. What? Maybe let's go back to like before the love story. Just like you said that I'm assuming the selling crew was like a family for you. The others that were out there doing this door to door.
Yeah,
sales.
we were a big crew.
When you say they were a family, like what in your perspective, what was the feeling? What was it that made it feel like family for you? Because I think that's something we all look for, and often we look for outside of our own families. But what was it for you that you were maybe searching for or didn't know you were searching for, that you were like, this is my family?
Yeah, I think it was just, you're forced to live with these people, so you're forced to get to know them. But a lot of us came from similar backgrounds, view life in different ways than maybe the norm. So it's easy to connect, when you have those similarities, that you might feel like you're the black sheep of the family, or you're the outcast of society. And, we just came together and created a fun life for us where we were out there just experiencing what life had to offer, going place to place. I mean, I've been pretty much all over the West Coast. I think I stopped it when I was in Ohio, and then came back through that way. So I didn't do much on the East Coast. But everybody likes to stay on the West Coast anyways.
Don't say that too loud.
Right. But I mean, a lot of my time spent was in California for the most part. We started out in Norwalk, work our way all the way up to Redding, and it was just an amazing experience. And I've met famous people doing it. Me and my husband, we were knocking doors together at the time, and we met and we could, this was 15 years ago. We could totally have our story totally butchered, but we think he was the writer or producer to something about Star Trek. He was something with Star Trek, and he was
really.
We cannot Google him to save our life anymore. But he died. He had Parkinson's, right? That's the shaking disease. But he bought 10 magazines off of us. He was about to shoo us away, but at the time I was wearing a Buzz Lightyear and Zorg hat. So I had it on, the happy Buzz Lightyear face. And when we were stealing people, and then they would tell us no, and I would turn around and be like, hold on. And then I would flip the hat the other direction and make it angry. And it got him. And he's like, all right, come on in. And, he gave us signed autographed books, but we don't have anymore. We really wish we did, but
right.
My husband, he was down the street from where the game was, where Nicole Richie and Joel Madden from Good Charlotte. And, it was just cool. We got to do things and experience things that most people don't really do. And I think my husband did it. He did it for the better part of his life. And I mean, he's been all around the country probably 3-4 times.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so you, in describing what this family is, you said that there were similar backgrounds, there was understandings of each other, maybe alluded to, I don't know if hardship is the right word. You use the word black sheep, and which means, we stand out, we don't quite fit in. We're the ones often that, it's funny that I just included myself in that. We're the ones often that give others an opportunity to look inside themselves, to to check their belief systems, to if you're like, what was that like for you? Like, why did you feel like you were the black sheep? What made you want to seek for other family or people who knew you outside of your own family?
Oh man, it's kind of deep. Yeah, I mean, growing up, I had a good life. I have a good family. My family's there. My mom was sick a lot growing up, and I think I took a lot of that hardship on myself. So, and being, we got one side of our family that's doctors and lawyers, and then we got my mom's side of like me and my sister. I say my mom's side, it's me and my sister who, we do what we can. We're great. We like our careers. We like what we do, but do we make oodles of money? No. Are we happy with that? That's
You're creative.
Yeah.
Like,
my mom definitely instilled creativity in me and my sister for sure. My mom is super creative. I remember she had a whole closet full of scrapbooking stuff, and we could literally pull anything out of a closet and start a craft. She even had a gift closet, like, oh, you have a party, let's go to the closet. Like,
how cool is that?
Mm-hmm. So, but I think when I say black sheep, we just feel different. I think I get told a lot from my own family, I'm hard on myself. I'm hard on myself a lot. I mean, even sitting here, I'm still shaking as we're doing this podcast, trying to find the right words, whew.
Yeah.
But
before you go on, I want to just interrupt and say this. One, I really appreciate your vulnerability. Those are the pieces that really help people and allow other people to own their own story and to just go inside themselves and find those things for themselves and to recognize, again, their own humanness. And so I just want to say thank you for your willingness to like share some of the things that feel scary and to be willing to sit in your shakiness and speak your story and to speak what your truth is, and for all of the ways that we know or don't know that someone else will be helped by this. So just thank you.
Well, yeah, maybe. But I think I always felt different growing up, and I took a lot of my mom's hardships on myself, and probably more than I had to. I felt like I had to grow up really quick, and I found, like I said earlier, I liked making my own paths, and I liked school. I was good at school. I don't consider myself, I was a popular kid, but I had plenty of friends. They chanted me when I graduated,
Yeah.
But, woo, made it. You didn't drop out. No.
Sometimes that's a real thing. Like,
right. Well, and my clique, I had a lot of friends, unfortunately, that decided that they wanted to go do different paths, or they stopped because they went to go help their mom and their dad make money to live life. And so, just everybody's brought up in different directions. And I took that route because I think I needed to find myself. And I didn't know who I was at the time, and I was lost, and it really helped me grow. And as soon as I came home, I still needed to grow, but I had some more hardships, and I was able to find myself through my daughter, my first daughter. She really helped me change my life around. And, that's when I really started becoming who I was and getting my life together.
I really honor and hold space for that story, because I know so many who have similar stories or maybe even similar experiences. And so I guess that's my curiosity with the door-to-door sales is like, what were some of the things that you learned about yourself that you were like, well, damn, I'm actually pretty cool person. Like I actually have
Yeah.
amazing gifts, or I have this talent or this skill, or that, like, what were some of those things that started to uncover or unshake inside of you that then you could recognize, that then helped you get to that place, like where you, when you go home and you're like, okay, I know I still have some growing up to do, um, but that allowed you to continue doing that.
Well, it was just getting to, I think it had to be the experience of just meeting new people every single day. I mean, I think we only had one day off a week, and, we
Wow.
worked till the sun was up, till the sun was down. Frustrated a lot of people knocking on doors at night, but you get to learn other people's experiences, and, you made friends with strangers, just kind of like how you're doing this thing,
Yeah.
So it's a very similar thing, and you just get to learn, and I feel when you get to meet different people and different cultures, you kind of open up yourself and your heart a little bit more.
I fully agree. For me, those experiences came when I probably, let's see, 2011. Um, I left the country for the first time and I went to Ecuador, and then I just traveled. Um, and I loved that piece of it that you just talked about, is that it opened my worldview. It opened my heart more. It also made me have to check in with my beliefs, but it opened my worldview. And I love that piece. So I appreciate that you brought that up. And just the meeting new people is just
Yeah.
like, it's mind blowing.
Right.
And
Like, I've been to the most wealthiest areas and spoke to crazy up there people. And then I've been to the crappiest areas. I mean, I've had someone who wanted to help us, because within this, they have a company promotion kind of thing. If you are the top 3 in the company, they gift you $3,000 and you get to go on a trip with 2 other people.
fun.
So, they make, even though it is our job, we go and spiel that we're doing a contest to help us over public speaking. I mean, it is a real thing. My mom's going to get Bassmaster and Ebony the rest of her life. But someone has wanted to help me out so much that they're scraping change out of their drawer. And I'm like, I'm not taking that from you. Like, come on. But like, they are in such bad situations themselves. But, it's how you're speaking to someone, and, how you make somebody feel and make them feel important. It's just amazing how people want to help.
That piece right there. Like, I mean, we've all heard stories of people who are just in like desperate or dire situations and they still want to help. Or you hear people maybe in third world countries who don't have a lot to eat, and yet I've been in those places. They want to feed you and they're willing to give you the last of what they have in order to have you in their home and to share their story or to share their, like, it just, that was so eye-opening and in some places gut-wrenching for me. And but at the same time, the amounts of gratitude you feel and just the goodness of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it really made me gut check myself of like, how do I behave, in situations, and what is my own goodness, and do I allow it to come out?
Right. And if you dismiss yourself from those experiences as well, you kind of get lost back into the greed and selfishness of America.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, there's that, unfortunately.
Yep.
So what was a situation or an experience that really stands out in your mind as something that you're like, I'll never forget this, whether it touched you in just a big way or just a really cool experience, or just, I'm sure you have many, but what's just one that really stands out to you?
Honestly, I think it would have to be, and you're not just talking about magazines, you're just talking about in general, right?
Well, you can talk in general. I was thinking magazines, but we can do both. We can totally
in
do
general,
both.
I think that my most awesome memory that I have would be my mom taking me on a road trip, and we were at Carlsbad Cavern and watching the bats come out of the cave. Like
Whoa.
that to me was probably the most memorable thing that I have. But
Tell
my
me
out of
what's
the
memorable about that though, besides the bat. Like what was the feeling? What was the
well,
the
bats are
emotion?
one of my favorite animals.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
flying puppies. Come on. So I love bats.
Flying
I
puppies.
used I used to carry around, TI Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
There was a bat one, and it could open its wings would like latch on you and everything. And I carried around that thing everywhere. And my mom, we just did this giant road trip from Texas all the way to Disneyland. We stopped at the Grand Canyon, Carlsbad, Vegas. Might have done some other things that I don't remember. Petrified Forest.
Okay.
But we just did that. And we walked, Carlsbad. We did the tour and everything. And then we stayed for the bats coming out. And you could feel like the vibration of them coming out of the cave, with their sonar. And I love bats.
That would have been amazing. I've heard a few people talk about experiences similar to that in different parts of the world. The first time I'd ever heard about it was in Cambodia. And I didn't get to go on that experience, but the people who came back and talked about it, very similar to what you just said. Like, it's incredible. Someday.
Yeah, well, you got to get over your fear. It's like Ace Ventura.
I don't know if I have a fear of it. It just is, it's a little bit freaky. Like just the thought of like being there with all of that motion and energy.
The motion. Yeah. Well, and a lot of people are actually terrified of them because the disease is whatever.
Right. Okay. So what is your a book selling or magazine selling experience that really stands out for you that was again
probably that Star Trek, meeting him, and then I guess meeting my husband,
I was really hoping you'd say that because I was about ready to say, can we come back to that love story thing?
Yeah, I guess just meeting him, during the time, I was in a relationship with somebody else that was selling magazines with us. And, we always had that chemistry. We were just great friends and we always wanted to be around each other. And I ended up leaving. He left shortly after I did. But, we both lived our lives and he met a girl. I met a guy.
Texas as well?
No, he's from Pennsylvania.
Oh, long ways away. Okay.
Yep. So, but he met a girl because he started after he left. He went and did door-to-door sales, selling home security systems.
Oh,
like ADT kind of stuff. Yeah. And he met a girl from Idaho, and they had a child. They had 2 children, and so he kind of has been around these areas. And I had my life. I had my first daughter, and 4 years later, we reconnected, and we were like, I came up to Idaho to visit him.
I was going to say, how did that happen?
Yeah, we reconnected, and I was just like, I just came out of I just ended the relationship with my daughter's father.
Yeah.
Say that again. Oh, you shut the screen. High five. I can't. I'm going to say right here. Cool. Awesome. High five.
That little voice is so precious.
She's very sweet. But
I wish we could, as adults, more often practice the like, hey, look at me, look what I just did. I closed the screen and I gotta tell you, and it's so cool. Like that we could just come back to some of that.
Well, she's not used to not having my attention.
Yeah.
So this is different for her, for sure. I got blessed with being able to be the stay-at-home mom with her. I've been a workaholic since I was 15 years old. So I have not worked a day in my life before having this child. So it was kind of strange.
Yeah.
But my husband and I, so anyways, I went and flew up to go see him after reconnecting. I just had ended the relationship with my daughter's father, and I was just like, hey, let's go hang out. He took me to Lagoon and went and see some tourist stuff, and we went to Mesa as well, and came back and decided we were gonna be in a relationship. He, I think like a month or two later, decided to move to Texas, and then 6 months after that, he proposed, and then we got married and moved up here.
Wow.
Yeah, it all happened really fast, but here we are.
So tell
7 years later.
me, I love it. Congratulations. Like, congratulations. Tell me what it's like, or what it feels like, or what the, what was the attraction? What was the, I'm trying to find the words, the draw that creates this love story that
His
you just
humor.
know.
He's a dad
Humor?
joke. So he's a walking dad joke. So probably that's what got me. Definitely his humor.
That's cool.
That's probably what keeps reeling me in. His sarcasm. That's a love hate.
Yeah.
I think he would say the same thing about mine.
I love it. I just it's so fun to hear how people meet, and like that he was in Pennsylvania and you're in Texas and you meet doing this thing, but there's this big connection, and I love it. I actually live it now myself, and so it's really fun to hear other people's stories that way.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about even last night. So whenever he went to go sell magazines, he was with two of his other buddies, and one of them decided to go with him, and the other one went into the Army. So he would have either gone to do that or gone to the military, and I'm glad he chose the other path, because or we would have never met. So
right. Yeah. Again, and it's so funny. So let me ask you this question. This is something that Leah and I talk about often, is choice. Do you feel like you had a choice in loving him or being with him? No. Or tell me about that, because I'm looking this like.
So when we first, even though I was in a relationship, like there was still that chemistry, and nothing was ever crossed or anything, but there was a time we got left in a town. It was me and him and a whole other car. And they put us in a hotel while we figured out how we were going to get to the rest of the company. But we ended up just staying there, and we were all so tired traveling the next day that I remember falling asleep on his shoulder, and he kissed me on the forehead. So, and he never knew that I knew that he did that until after we started talking again. But I knew that I wanted him in my life forever. And even though we didn't start dating until 10 years after knowing each other. So we definitely had our friendship first. We were like stayed in contact constantly because, we had our lives. But, it was ever so often we'd pick up where we left off and be like, hey, what's up? How's life? And, and 10 years later, we'd connect and we're like, why are we messing around anymore? We know it's here. Like, come on. And it just blossomed.
I love it. I love it. So what makes your relationship great? What makes it a love story?
We like to accomplish our goals together. So that's easy to do. We like setting goals. Each year that we've been together, it seems like something more and more fantastic has happened until, I got let go. I was a mortgage loan processor, so I got let go whenever the market crashed.
Right.
And, we've been on his income. That's when we decided, hey, even if we knew something was coming, we felt it. And he was just like, we woke up that morning, he looked at me, he's like, if something happens today, this is God's way of saying, hey, you're staying home with this baby. Because it was right after I had the baby.
Wow.
And we've just been banging it out. We've hit some rough patches. We moved into this beautiful new home 2 years ago. It was a one-owner home, but it's falling apart. Our well has gone out twice. And that's a hefty expense. We've had some bathroom flooding problems. Our whole shower pan was was built with the house, so it was completely corroded, and so we've had some hardships along the way. But I mean, his support that he has given me to utilize my talents, and to get to stay home and be with the baby and have this experience of being a mom and doing it myself, and doing it right. And, I mean, there's no right way to be a mom.
I'm like, yeah, there's
no right way, but, doing our best, but at least I get to do it and do it my way this time around for me. And I get to do the crafts that I've been doing. I've been learning how to, I hate cooking, and I'm learning that my baking is amazing. It's weird. Because my banana bread, the pumpkin bread, I make dog treats as well. They're all huge sellers. So it's been crazy. So I would say my love story has to do with his support and his humor.
Awesome. Tell me how communication plays a role in all of that, like in the good, the bad, the ugly.
We're human, so we have ugly just like any other relationship, but I feel like it's always how you come back together, how you grow strong from it, how you talk about it. At least try, and you have somebody in front of you that loves you and wants only the best for you, so you've got to push away some ego and in both of us and figure out how to learn from what you did and how you hurt somebody.
Okay, so talk to us a little bit more about that. Like, how does a person who maybe isn't as skilled at communicating but wants to, or what would be some tips that you would share with someone? Like, how do you do it? Even if it's messy.
I need the tips. I'm not a good communicator at all. It's really more so him trying to push it on me.
Okay, so let me ask the question this way. How do you, as someone who thinks she doesn't communicate very well, how do you engage or be inside of those conversations so that it happens, first of all, and you can come to that place of where you said, learning some things about myself, what maybe, my part in it was, or like how to come back together in that place that's really yummy and move forward as a team. How do you stay engaged when you say you're not a good communicator?
We have to take some space.
Okay.
Because we are both very stubborn people. So we have to take space. I have to get out of my head a lot. I think that's where a lot of it comes from, is I get in my head a lot, and I might think that it's more than what it is. So, when I come back to the communication, I have to be level-headed. I have to breathe. I have to make sure that I'm saying the right words, because that's where my fault is I have a lot of emotion in my words. When I get passionate, my voice tends to kind of go like this. So I kind of spike some anxiety sometimes. Some people don't like that.
What kinds of things do you do to get out of your head so that you can come back into a conversation?
My crafting, I can bake. I like to draw a lot.
So do you do something like, hey, hunky man of mine, I know we need to have a conversation and you're wanting, but I need a little space. Like, how does that go down so that he knows that you're still interested in like working the thing out, but you got to process something? Like, how does that work for you and as a team?
We write each other notes, actually. Yeah, I think that seems to work. What's best for us is we'll leave little notes for each other to read, because her schedule is a little whack, and then he gets up super early for work, so we never really actually go to bed with each other. So if we're actually having a disagreement or something, I might come into the bathroom when I'm going to brush my teeth and call it a night, and he'll have like a little note saying his feelings, sorry, whatever it might be, and I get to write back. Or if I didn't receive something, maybe I beat him to that punch, and that seems to actually what works the best for us, because maybe with being a bad communicator, I'm better probably at writing it down.
Gotcha.
So that's how I find the solution.
I think that's cool. I've not heard that before, so I think that's really cool and a neat tool. So like if you're listening and you think you're not a super good communicator, maybe that's something you could experiment with. I love to leave notes just because I love to leave notes, but I like the idea of maybe it being a way to ease yourself back into the space of communication and where you feel like you can hear the other person, but also be heard. That's beautiful.
I think it helps to reflect thoughts. I mean, it's the same kind of concept as, therapy. They tell you if you're experiencing emotions, you should keep a journal, write it down. That's how you release a lot of that tension, a lot of the stress and everything. So I think it might have to do with that same kind of concept.
I love it.
I'm just figuring it out.
Right. There is a power in writing and getting stuff out of here and how it shifts and changes once it comes out your hand. And then you can, I always tell people, I like it because then I can see what I'm thinking or understand what I'm saying inside my head. And that's just a cool concept. I appreciate that.
Yes.
There was another question along with that.
Mama.
Yes, baby.
I'm not remembering what it is.
Mama.
Yes, baby.
The ball.
Oh my
A
God.
ball. She's wanting a ball. Can you go get it for me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Ball.
Okay, so it was about creativity. So you now get this opportunity to be home with that cute little child running around, and
Yes.
but you also get to play around in your crafting and that piece of you. So tell me a little bit about that, because this is how I actually met Sam. Is she was in the shipping store and she had this craft in her hand. It was a gnome. And I was curious. And so then she told me about it and I was even more curious. And then I've seen other stuff that you do. And so tell us a little more about how you create currently, maybe how you got there, and what it does for you. Like why?
Definitely is how I release any kind of stress. I love using my hands. It started when I was 15. I became a part of the floral department at Kroger, which is Fred Meyer. I started as a bagger there, then I became a cashier, and it was like prom or homecoming or something. The floral manager there, she pulled me over. She's like, I need you to make bows. So she had me sit there for days making bows. It was a tedious, horrible job.
Mommy, ball.
Wow. Thank you so much.
The ball.
And me and her ended up actually building this bond. I became like the daughter she never had. She was this elder. I don't know. I can't remember if she was from the Philippines or if she was somewhere over in that general area. But she loved me, and she would take me in and she taught me all these wonderful things about floral. And then I moved from there and I became a florist at different grocery stores. And then I became a manager over a mom and pop store. He had 3 locations. So I've done floral for 10 years of my life, basically. And that's, I think, where it came from. I just love using my hands. I love creating. I'm also pretty good DIYer. If I watch something or read something, I can pretty much do it, which is pretty cool. So I've just kind of been banging it out. And, I'm not a big fan of gnomes, honestly, but gnomes are going crazy right now.
Right?
they're going berserk. I mean, they are adorable. Yes, ma'am. Okay, you can have it. She's gonna bring these fruit snacks.
Awesome. I love fruit snacks.
So, but I mean, I started making these gnomes and I joined a few gnome lovers Facebook pages, and all of a sudden I'm selling gnomes all over the country.
I love it.
Awesome. Do you need me to open your fruit snacks? You can have one. She brought me 5.
What?
Here you go.
2 for her and 3 for you.
Yes. Yeah, right? No, I'm going to give her 1 and hide the others.
So what is one of your favorite things about like creating and crafting? Like, what does it bring to you?
I think it brings confidence in me whenever somebody seems to really appreciate what I've made. Like just the art aspect of it. You know, I like how people appreciate art. And
Someone just said, show us the gnomes. I actually was going to say the same thing because I know you have some.
Okay, so I pulled out 3 over here. So this is one of my Christmas gnomes.
I love it.
And then I made a Grinch one.
Oh my heck, that one's adorable. I like the shag.
This is a 4th of July one. This is not done, but I have to embellish it a little bit more, but that's what I'm working on right now. So
Adorable. Adorable. I loved the story of when I'm like, what is in your hand? How have you made this? And that just was super intriguing to me. And I loved the spark that came to your eyes and to your voice as you were talking about it. And I'm like, I gotta know this girl.
Yeah, they popped off so crazy. I ended up just buying a few frames. Yes, baby. Sorry, but
You're good.
It's a gnome. But I ended up buying just a few frames from the Dollar Tree. They're supposed to be witch hats. So this actually started off I was making witch gnomes. I made a serial killer one and everything. But they seemed so much bigger because they actually had the hook on the witch hat.
Okay.
The Grinch, yes. And they just started going crazy. And at the time, my husband had pushed me because I also, being at this house, our whole backside of our house is raspberries. So I have learned that making raspberry jam is my jam. So, and it's actually my jalapeno raspberry jam.
Now you have my attention.
Yes, and the best way to actually eat my jam is by putting it on Dutch chocolate ice cream because it ends up, crystallizing that, and it is so good.
Wow, everyone's mouth is now watering.
He pushed me to do the Iona Farmers Market, and I've never done anything like that. I've never done a craft show. I don't have an Etsy page. For the most part, all my stuff that was selling was just online, on Marketplace or Facebook. And he pushed me to do this, and I boomed. It was crazy. I didn't expect it to happen. I sold out of all my jams. That's when I started learning how to do the other baking stuff. I was already doing the dog treats. I started doing the dog treats when I lost my job because we have so many dogs. It's like, why am I paying for this giant box of dog treats when it's literally, I can make these delicious organic.
Well, you know what's in them.
Correct. And I mean, it's literally 4 ingredients. I mean, no preservatives, all organic. I say they're pup approved and son approved. My son literally eats one every single time I take it off. I think it's disgusting and he's like, they're just a really hard cookie. I'm like, it still tastes like a dog treat, but okay. But he goes crazy over the banana and peanut butter ones.
Oh my word.
So, but I've been making the dog treats ever since then. So my jam and the dog treats were going crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, what else can I throw in there? So then I started making little mini donuts because I have one of those, like, those mini, like, like little
yeah.
flaming grill things.
Yes.
Okay, so I have like those, and one of them's a donut maker. So I was like, why not? Let's give it a shot. So I was doing Twix flavored, Snickers flavored, powdered donuts, and all this other stuff, kind of like the Moose place here in town.
Yes.
And those were a big hit, but then they kind of stopped selling, and because the market started slowing down, and I hated making them because it took me so long because I could only make 3 at a time. So, and I had to make dozens. So I would have one of my daughters, she'd be in there we would take turns. She really enjoyed doing it too. I'm like, we got to figure out something else. So then that's when the, fall came, and I was like, okay, pumpkin bread. That's a market for fall. And then I had ripe bananas, and I threw some banana bread in there, and I've done some zucchini bread when I had zucchinis in my garden, and people keep coming back for it. I don't even know what it tastes like. I don't like pumpkin. I don't like banana, but the more I make my banana bread, the better it smells, and I'm so much more tempted to eat it. But I hate the texture. I hate the smell. Anything that has to do with bananas, I hate it so much.
That is so crazy. We're going to have to put it in order because I would like to taste it and be able to say, oh, heck yeah. Like, this is the place to get your banana bread.
I just made a batch last night. I'll be making dog treats today.
All right. Count us down for a loaf. I'm serious about that. We can come get it later this afternoon.
It's in my fridge. I've got one ready for you.
Like legit, we'll come get one this afternoon. I had another question. Okay, it's gone, but until it comes, how do people find you? If they how can people support what you're doing? You're putting yourself out there, you have good product, you have cute gnomes, and you're coming up with new things, finding what works for you. How do people support you? How often do you take orders? How does that work?
So you can go on my Facebook page. That's pretty much all I have. It's Lucky's Goodies. You can just message me on there and place orders.
We'll stick that in the comments as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and you can just place orders on there. And I make everything fresh to order, so nothing's sitting around because my breads don't even last in my house. And even the dog treats, I have an abundance of different sizes that I just keep around because it's not going to go to use or waste. I have 4 dogs, so
yeah,
I just keep everything around fresh to make.
I know I have some peeps who may be very interested in your dog treats.
Yeah, and I have different flavors. There's banana, peanut butter, pumpkin, and apple. So, and you can do different combinations. So, from what I've heard, the bestseller one is peanut butter and banana, and apple and banana. The combination.
That's a combination.
The combinations. Those ones seem to have been a favorite. My dogs really like the pumpkin the best. So right now I've been testing out different bags because I want to go commercial with my dog treats. And I've already talked to Idaho about the laws and stuff like that. So now I've just got to test out bagging. I had some craft bags that were really cute and good for packaging. And then all my dog treats went moldy. I was like, I'm glad I tested this because I have not once had mold on any of my dog treats in the Mylar or the cellophane bags. And then I tried the craft paper because it was cuter and it would be really nice with my label and it's more presentable.
Sure.
But then I realized, how do you ripe fruit? You put it in a paper bag. So I overriped my dog treats. That's how organic they are.
Wow. That's amazing, actually. Mm-hmm. And I love that you experimented with that. Yeah. So I guess the question that comes to my mind is what gives you the courage to keep putting yourself out there and trying new things? Like even coming on here, this is scary or can be scary. It can be scary to put your products and stuff out there. So what gives you that drive and that courage to continue moving forward?
definitely the support system that I have. I mean, my husband has supported me in all of this, doing this. You know, my family tells me how creative I am with it. And, you know, I mean, also the customer returns. I mean, that's amazing. Like, I have
That's
strangers
really
all over the country that are like buying my stuff. I had one woman that bought several different products off of me, and I'm like mind blown that it's even that great. I was also making shelf gnomes. So like little, I don't have any left because they sold out, but they were
right.
little Christmas gnomes. I wonder if I can pull a picture up on my phone, and I wonder if you'd be able to see it. But just from somebody seeing on my Facebook page, someone local, she ended up buying 16 of them. So it was
Wow.
crazy. And I think that's where I'm getting my confidence, is from you guys, you know, essentially. But let's
Okay,
see.
that's a really okay, those are adorable. Their little legs hanging down.
Yeah. Oh, there were just
Um,
different styles and stuff. I had ones that were Santas as well.
they're so cute.
So,
I
and those
love
all sold out.
that's how it should be. And thank you to those of you who purchased Sam's gnomes.
Thank you.
Keep purchasing. I
Anybody who's
love what
purchasing
you said.
anything from me, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But I really love and appreciate the piece that you just said of when I said, how do you get your confidence? And you said it's part of it's from you, from the people who support you and show up for you. And I think that's such an important thing. I would dare say that most of us have some kind of issue with people not showing up for us. And a lot of times the people who do show up for us are what's that, how does that saying go, like you're never a king in your own country. It's usually people who don't know us or people who are far from us. And just this is me saying to you, the listener, like, support the people around you. Like, they're putting themselves out there, and if you feel yourself want to be crunchy about what they're doing, check in as to why. Is it because you're not doing something that you want to be doing? You're not having the courage to put your own stuff out there. And instead of putting someone else down, build them up and purchase their product. Support them in some way. Even if maybe their product isn't for you, purchase it and give it as a gift, or share them out with other people. Let's find more ways to support each other and build each other up in the things that we're doing, and help build the confidence, one in ourselves, but then the confidence to put ourselves out there for other people. Because the reality is we're all climbing an uphill battle. We all have our struggles, we all have our successes, and we all need each other.
And especially right now, life has been brutal. And I know it's going along for everybody. It's just, it seems like it's always one thing after another. And, you know, I think right now is the time more than any that we all have to stick together and be kind, you know. And a lot of it has to do with delivery. And I think a lot of us need to practice on delivery. I've been telling my daughter that a lot lately. You know, she's a preteen. So I'm like, delivery.
Right? I
Fix
love
that
it.
face a little bit.
I
Give
love
her
it.
a side eye.
Oh, I love it. So I just checking time. We're at our time, but what would be some, like, three words or three just statements to live by that you would want to share with other people?
Ooh, 3 words.
Words are just like pieces of wisdom from
Oh,
Sam.
man.
And it can be the things that you live by.
Don't give up.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, just don't give up. I think, okay, I wanted to bring this up and I kind of forgot because I got into my own nerves. The beginning of your opening of what you were speaking about. I think a lot of my crafts. She's putting a Band-Aid on my forehead.
Oh, awesome. She's
A lot
babysitting very well.
Yes. A lot of my crafts and starting this process and the support that I got at the time that I needed, it came because after having her, I had gotten postpartum. And it was pretty severe. And it was hard on our house. Um, and this was a big outlet. So I wanted to also touch base with what you were saying, because it is important for everybody to reach out and get the help that they need and seek what you need to make sure that you don't give up. And, and that goes with everything. It goes with that. It goes with your dreams. It goes with, even if you're just not really that great at something yet, keep practicing. Don't give up and you'll get better. Maybe not perfect. You'll get better, but nobody needs perfection.
That's my thing right there. I am a recovering perfectionist, and when I really have learned to just let go, and like things are far better. One, they get put out there, like it actually happens, but they're usually better when I can let go of the perfection of what I think everyone else thinks it should be, let alone myself. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Don't give up.
Yep. So
all right, next one.
Wisdom. Oh, you need 3 different ones? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that was 3 words. Okay, so another one.
We could put, it doesn't have to be perfect. We can make that number 2.
I like that. Okay. Touch a tree.
What? I love that you just said that. Tell us about touching a tree. It's one of my favorite things.
Well, you're not going to have the positive vibe in life if you cannot feel the vibrations and the love from the ground and from the earth and from the trees. So I'm big on grounding. I take hiking trips barefoot.
I love it. I love it. I still have a live tree in my house. It's doing incredibly well. Like, I'm surprised, but I touch it every day and I talk to it and I feel it and let it love me back. So I love the touch a tree.
Touch a tree. Yeah. Yep. That's a big one. You really can. Like, we even tell our kids when we go on hiking trips and stuff, there'll be certain trees and we're like, you have to touch this one. Like, you can feel it. I mean, if you listen, if you're quiet enough, you can literally walk down the paths and you can hear the trees talking. Like, I'm a true believer in that. Like, have you seen that happening? People better watch out. They're going to come for us one day. Just kidding.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Samantha, thanks for sharing your time with us. Yeah, one more.
Thank you for having me.
I put down the second one. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then touch a tree. Yeah.
Oh yeah, here. And I can also, my new creation of self-promoting me. If you aren't good with plants, you can just do a rock cactus.
I love it.
You can kill. So
that is rad. A rock cactus. I may have to go just create one of those because I can.
Yes.
I really appreciate you again, just stepping into your fear and accepting the invitation, first of all, showing up, sharing your heart, sharing parts of your story, and just showing us you and telling us about what makes you run and makes you an amazing person, for sharing your creativity. And I'm gonna say, go check out Sam's page, which is what again?
Lucky's Goodies.
Lucky's Goodies on Facebook.
Yep.
And
on Facebook, yep.
Reach out, purchase her products, get to know her, and then let us know how we can support you as well. Sam, thank you for your words of wisdom, which are don't give up. It doesn't have to be perfect, and to touch a tree. And remember to be creative.
Yes.
For those of you who listened to us today and shared time, thank you we know you have a lot of important things to do, and that you shared your time with us is important to us, and showing up for us it means a lot. So we just say thank you. We have our podcasts are hosted on our The Righteous Rebels Facebook page. That's a group, the Righteous Rebels Facebook group. We have also them housed at therighteousrebels.com. Along with, and when you go to that page, you'll also find our amazing river retreat that's taking place for women in August. The dates are the 14th through the 20th. It's our Surviving Life and Leadership Retreat, and it's something that will change your life. It'll give you the opportunity to be creative, to have content, to let go of the noise of the world and actually hear your heart, connect with other amazing, beautiful people, the trees. You can touch trees. You'll have an amazing, intimate experience with the water and the people around you. So go check that out.
Where is that?
Yeah, that's that's the main salmon here in Idaho.
Okay.
It's 80 miles on the main salmon.
Okay.
And that's something you want to be a part of. It's an investment. We recognize that it's an investment. It's a $500 deposit to hold your spot. We have broken it down into 2 payments. The first one is actually due the beginning of February, and then another one in June. Reach out and talk to us about payment, because we want to make sure that everyone who wants to be there can be there. And we want to do it in the least expensive way possible, which means saving processing fees and such. You can totally register online if you would like to. Just know that there's processing fees. On our Facebook group, the Righteous Rebels Facebook group, is where you'll see we're going to start posting. We've been talking about some little get-togethers and fun ways to just come together and be with people and connect, and to share the gift of communication and connection, and maybe most likely some good food and snacks. Maybe we'll have Sam there with some of her delightful pumpkin and banana bread. For now, just remember that you're amazing, and that you're human, and celebrate as much as you can all the human emotions, and without beating yourself up. You have gifts and talents that no one else has. They may have them, but they can't express them in the ways that you can, and we need them in the ways that you share them. So remember, be bold, be brave, be a rebel. We'll see you soon.